our first episode of Ringside
with Matt and Gabe.
Yep, this is our spin-off show, the Beantown Beatdown.
Exactly.
This is where we look at classic fights and you see our own commentary, and
it's gonna be like MST3K up in here. You see our heads and stuff, but you're watching the fight.
Yep, exactly. And the first fight we're gonna be looking at is Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier, the Thrilla Manila, the third fight, an epic boxing match. And let's take a look.
Let's get to it.
And here we are.
Let's get up some volume for the folks.
Yep, here's some volume here. This is in Manila in 1975, October 1st. And
interesting. Have they done like tours in countries like that, island countries?
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, of course, there was the Ali Foreman Rumble in the Jungle in Zaire, Africa. They did Foreman versus Joe Frazier. The first fight in Jamaica. That's of course when Howard Cosell uttered the famous words, "Down goes Frazier, down goes Frazier."
Gotcha.
Yeah, and they did. Yeah, and they also did George Foreman's fight with Ken Norton in Venezuela. So, I mean, it was a little international, not as international as it is now.
Right.
I mean, with boxing matches now taking place in Canada.
Let's cheers.
Yep.
Round one, it says.
Yep. Here we are in round one, and of course, this was the third fight between Ali and Frazier. Their first fight, 1971, Madison Square Garden. Frazier won by a unanimous decision. And the fight of the century. Their second fight in Madison Square Garden, not as big as the first one, because both those guys were not champions. The champion was Foreman at the time, and of course Ali won by a decision. So this is the rubber match. Oh, just connecting right there on those punches, man. It's also fitting that we're doing this because Muhammad Ali had just passed too.
Oh yes, that's right.
Absolutely.
Right. R.I.P.
Yep. I mean, for doing this our first show, I mean, we really could have picked any fight here. I mean, but I figured with the passing of Ali, let's give the boxing fans what they want.
Exactly.
Ooh. And you see Ali's style here. I mean, well, Ali, of course, was the dancing master. He was known for dancing and moving around. And by this time, he kind of developed the rope-a-dope style that he did from the Foreman fight, where he laid on the ropes and let him pound away and let a fighter tire himself out. He did that. He also did it again in the Chuck Webner fight, and he did it again in a little bit in the Ron Lyle fight. And all these other fights.
Right.
And it really had caught up to him. I mean, the speed, and I mean, he's not really the Ali of old. I mean, he does a little shuffling and jiving and stuff, but
You're saying that it's because less of the ability to do the speed that he kind of changed.
Well, yeah, I mean, this was.
I agree with you. If you also said that it was actually a better strategy for him.
Well, yeah, it was a better strategy in the Foreman fight, but it's kind of like that old saying, sometimes you run shit out of luck. So, and Joe Frazier, of course, is a heavy hitter. I mean,
yeah, it looks like it. I mean, it's definitely been ready to go with all this. He has kind of fallen for it in terms of spending that energy.
Yeah. Oh, there's the big rally right there.
Yeah.
Landing those shots. I mean, there's a saying in fights, styles make fights, and Ali style and Frazier style definitely make for a great fight. Yep. There's the end of the first round. Eddie Futch, the late great Eddie Futch, working in the corner. Futch would later also train Ken Norton at the same time. He would later go on to train Freddie Roach, who is now a world famous trainer himself, and also trained Riddick Bowe.
So what actually is it that stops the first round? What actually is it? Is that a time limit?
Yeah, in boxing, every round is 3 minutes.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Every round is 3 minutes. And
But there's no, is there any thing that dictates how much time is between rounds?
they have a timekeeper. Yep, they have a timekeeper.
So how much time do you have between rounds?
You have 3. Well, between rounds, you get a 30-second rest period.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, for water and Vaseline, and give out little advice to your fighter.
Yeah, so if you're the one that's trying to manage that fighter, you only have 30 seconds to get through to him, to get his shit together.
Yeah, exactly. And Joe Frazier's style, bobbing, weaving, and trying to get inside. And what he's also trying to do here is go to the body to slow down Ali's speed. That's a common thing you see in boxing when you face a guy like an Ali, a Taylor, Melcher Taylor, Sugar Ray Leonard, or even a Floyd Mayweather.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to the body and slow them down, that takes away their speed. And later on in the rounds, they slow down.
Gotcha. Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah. And the amazing thing about this fight is Joe Frazier, he's into this fight, he's blind in one eye. Yeah, in his left eye, he suffered an injury in training back in '65, and fought most of his career with just one eye. Yeah, and
that's definitely got to be something.
Yeah.
Do you think that's something they disqualify someone for now?
In today's world, yeah. With especially in boxing, with so many deaths being in boxing, and the whole better safe than sorry.
Right. But I'm guessing if he were alive now, he would say that he wished he weren't that way. He wished someone that that also had an eye injury would be able to go in the ring.
Well, yeah, and it's, it just shows you the courage that he had, and plus, I guess you can call it being a man's man, being a working man and stuff, blue collar guy.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, good right hand by Ali right there. And Joe Frazier had a good chin. I mean, chin was a little suspect in the fight with George Foreman, but against those punches with Ali, he could really stand up to those punches.
Gotcha.
And one thing I want to mention is, at the time when this fight took place, I mean, you see these guys sweating. I mean, especially the sweat on Joe Frazier's back.
Yeah.
This fight took place, at 120 degrees. It was 120 degrees in this arena. Yeah, little to no air conditioning.
That's something you don't think about with the location that in the tropical heat of Manila.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And but it's one of those things that it's one of the hazardous, and when you gotta fight, you gotta fight.
Yeah.
Look at Thailand. When they do Muay Thai kickboxing, there's a lot of Oh yeah, some good punches right there by Frazier and Ali. Good exchange. Um, you know, they fight in arenas and in Muay Thai kickboxing where there's no air conditioning. So I mean, I think the American arenas they really do spoil us.
I mean, I was gonna say there's. Ooh, so he's really.
Yeah, now he's saying.
I was about to say. I was gonna say he has him on the ropes, but he actually doesn't have him on the ropes at all, does he? He's inviting him to be on the to get
he's
him
trying
on
to
the
sucker
ropes
him
because
in,
he's suckering him. Yeah.
But Frazier's landing those body shots. I mean, mind you, Frazier was a big, powerful puncher. I mean, he had the best left hook in all of boxing. I mean, if he connected with that left hook, it was it was over.
Yeah, gotcha. Anyway, but what I was gonna say is, I guess the other thing is that they're never in cold weather. It's the thing; it's never too cold for them, so it could always be too hot depending on the location, right?
Well, yeah, especially in especially with the air conditioning. I mean, there's a flurry right there.
Yep.
Of course, Ali missed a few of those times. Mostly missing there. But Frazier connecting a little bit. But oh yeah,
this must be the part that gets his fans on their toes.
Oh yeah, they love fight fans. They love a good exchange. They love a good back and forth. They like these two guys just going at each other right here. I mean, these are the fights that are. Well, I don't know, was anyone in your family a boxing fan, or?
Good question, but I think my dad remembers fondly the Ali fights for sure, but yeah, I don't know if I would say he's a boxing fan.
Yeah, but these are the fights that they would tell us about, or our grandfathers would tell us about fights. Like Joe Louis and Marciano and Sugar Ray Robinson. I mean, right now you and I are 30 years old, and I mean, actually you're 30. I'll be 30 in November.
Yeah, don't get ahead of yourself.
Yeah, but if the day ever comes when we have kids and grandkids, like fights in the UFC or Glory Kickboxing or Bellator, MMA and kickboxing, those are going to be the fights we're going to tell our kids about. Granted, they won't be on Millimeter Masters, those old film projectors, and
right, no,
yeah, and of course, by the time our kids and grandkids are born, I think DVDs and Blu-rays will probably be done away with. Oh, good one too, right there.
I don't know. Do you ever worry though that the fights that you know now actually aren't as classic and aren't as enduring as these fights were?
That is a real good question. I mean, if you were to compare this fight to the boxing matches of today,
right?
I mean, there really is little to no comparison because in these days, the 70s, I mean, these were when fights would go 15 rounds.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I don't know, maybe it's different that I'm not noticing, but like, it did seem like there was much more of the business community was really like involved in this and really wanted to see it and like made sure to see it, and much more of the like, I don't know. Do you know what I'm getting at?
Well, you mean like no, not quite. Sorry.
Of course, I'm thinking partially about Mad Men. The whole scene where they saw it was an Ali fight that everyone in New York was talking about at the time, and like everyone in the business community was buzz about it, and it shows on the show, and like that they wanted to like rearrange their airports, they wanted their airport plans, they wanted to go to dinner at the fine. I guess they didn't have TV at like a lot of the restaurants back then, but they wanted to finish their dinner at the restaurants and then go to the the bars with the bigger TVs and make sure they watch it, and like that was office wide. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I mean, they still kind of do that to this day. I mean, you know, whenever there's a big fight, you know, they always try to, get him go to Vegas or whatever
Right.
arena is in, and I mean, sometimes it can be difficult, you know, even for the celebrities.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's true with the Vegas fights nowadays. That definitely is like water cooler gossip at the office and whatnot. Like that definitely is a big to do.
Yeah, as far as going to the sports bars and stuff, I mean, there's sports bars where you can watch fights, and even bars that are not sports bars, you know, like they won't show fights. I mean, there have been times when I've gone to bars and say like, hey, you know, could you put on like there's a fight on Fox Sports One or there's a fight on Spike? Could you just put it on? And they'll be like, well, no, the manager doesn't want it to be doesn't want it on. Too much violence. It might start people getting drunk and fighting. And it's like, really, when you put on a hockey games and you'll even put on crime dramas, but two men fighting in a ring and cage, that's where you draw the line.
Well, that's a point. Yeah, you definitely made that point pretty well on that rant of the day episode a little while back.
Well, yeah, exactly. You know, it's you know, I mean, oh, good punches right there, by Ali.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, we're gonna be going back and forth on the fights and other while we're shooting the shit. But you know, it's you know, again, there's a bottom line I don't see to it. You know, I don't work in the bar industry. I've never worked in a bar.
Right.
You know, my thing is always you know, the Shakespearean thing. You know, a bar is a bar is a bar is a bar.
Right. Yeah.
And,
But yeah, this is definitely to kind of get back to our point. This is definitely a cultural phenomenon. This is a lot more. I don't know. Do you think it was a lot more mainstream back then?
well, yeah. I mean, the '70s. I mean, boxing had been around for decades. I
Right.
mean, but in the '70s, this was really the decade of the heavyweights. I mean, there was Muhammad Ali, there was Joe Frazier,
Yep.
there was George Foreman and Ken Norton,
Yep.
and then there were some other fighters heavyweights fighters in the '70s who got some popularity but never became world champions, or they never became what they should have became. You know, like the Ron Lyles, the Chuck Wepners, and the Ernie Shavers. Leon Spinks, of course, he came in the late '70s, and then of course Larry Holmes later came on.
Oh man.
Oh yeah,
That's almost like the witch punching doll.
Yeah.
With the mechanical arms. That's kind of like that.
Oh yeah, that's a flurry. That's the flurry thing.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, boxing was really in the '70s, and of course, think about. Okay, this is '75. I think like in 77, yeah, around 77, 76, the first Rocky movie would come out. So
yeah, exactly.
you know,
That's a whole other level as well.
yeah. I mean, in this decade, you know, there really, you know, the guys in the lower weight divisions, there really wasn't much emphasis on the lower weight divisions in boxing. I mean, the only one was Roberto Duran, who at that time in the '70s was the lightweight champion. So like, and I actually talked about it on my Facebook page. I mean, on the Facebook page on our, you know, for the Beantown Beatdown.
Yeah.
Talked about Roberto Duran. I mean, he was the one guy in boxing that was popular that wasn't in the heavyweight division. I mean, those fights with Ken Buchanan and Esteban de Jesus. I mean, oh, good hook there by Frazier.
Yeah.
But you know, but boxing really was really mainstream. You know, this really was the golden age of the heavyweight division.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and you see it right here. You got two of the best fighters in that division right now, just going at each other. And they also did not like each other.
Well, let's give the fans a moment to watch here.
Oh, okay.
It did seem like they were slowing down for a while there, but then
Yep.
that flies out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, that was Frazier's mouthpiece, by the way,
Oh.
not Ali's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the announcer made a mistake, and later on he would correct it.
That's an interesting note. But yeah, he hadn't really danced the way he was known to.
Yeah, I mean, because of the wear and tear over the years, and this was really this fight really was really one of the last great performances of both these fighters' lives. I mean,
really?
Well, yeah, because there are certain fights, where it's beaten out of you, and your prime is beaten out of you, and it's like, it strips away your prime, because of the damage and stuff. I mean,
right.
I mean, you saw it in the Meldrick Taylor, Julio Cesar Chavez fight, and this fight, of course, and I mean, because these guys are really our gladiators. They're just willing to die. And in fact, Joe Frazier has actually said in an interview, like he was willing to die in order to beat Ali.
Oh man, yeah, that's crazy. Oh yeah, we talked about that yesterday. You asked me if I would be willing to do that.
Oh yeah, that was for the UFC 200 thing, which you guys can catch online now. Go to youtube.com/Bloody Knuckles TV.
Exactly.
Cheap plug.
But yeah, that is a good point. That it's the same question that Frazier is answering there when he says that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Stallone said in Rocky IV. To beat me, he's gonna have to kill me. And in order to do that, he's gotta be willing to die himself. Ooh. I mean.
Oh, okay. So that was close. That was close to low blow. I was meaning to ask you what are the actual rules on low blow?
Well, low blows they give you some warnings, and then after a few warnings, if you do it again, then they take away a point. And if you do it again, then they'll take away another point, and the third time.
But that all is based on when they catch you doing low blow, right?
Yeah, when they catch you, because sometimes the referee doesn't always see it, or whatever. I think the referee has caught him a few times and just says, keep him up.
Right.
But really it's hard to tell because you're moving around, you're trying to get a good angle, and
plus the other guy's like ducking, or he might like go high.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
If he goes high, it's kind of like bringing that into your area.
Yeah.
You can almost hear what the person was yelling. What was that? About the belt?
Yeah. The trainers are like, hey, watch the little blows. That was Boomdini, one of Ali's cornermen, yelling that.
Well, he said something. It said something about belt. Was it like above the belt?
Yeah, or below the belt, or see blood starting to come out of the mouth of Joe Frazier right there. He really had taken a bit of a beating, throughout this whole thing.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, these guys are in 120 degrees heat, and they're going at it.
Yeah. Exactly.
By the way, the guy with the glasses, bald head, that's Freddie Pacheco. He was a fight doctor for Muhammad Ali. He was in his corner for many years, and later on did commentary for Showtime Championship Boxing. Good body shot right there. Oh, good uppercut right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can really see. I mean, these guys are getting fatigued.
Yeah, exactly.
And even though they got water and stuff like that, it's hard to keep hydrated in this kind of weather.
Yeah.
And this is
are his eyes blue? Muhammad Ali, are his eyes green?
I never noticed.
That's something I just thought seeing him back there.
Yep. Yeah, and this is really one of the best rounds of the fight here, round 8, and because these guys really start going at each other, and Frazier starts to dominate a little bit in this fight, in this round as well. Oh, good left hook right there.
Right. Like you said, what did you say? King of the left hooks or something?
Oh yeah, I mean, he has the all-time best left hook in boxing. Number 2, I put Mike Tyson.
There we go. Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, these guys are starting to run low on energy, and they're still going at it.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, adrenaline kicks in, right? And you want to give it what you got.
Yeah, and also this is for the
it's biggest, for the title.
Yeah, it's for the heavyweight championship of the world.
Yeah.
I mean, this round right here represents everything that is good and bad about boxing.
Gotcha. Why would you say that?
Well, it's good because it shows the heart and determination and how far they're willing to go for a title. I mean, that's the good.
Yeah.
The bad part is that a piece of your prime, your body, it leaves you after this, and with damage, especially to the brain.
Yeah, which is pretty damn important.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
woo! Came back up from below.
Yep. Yeah, now we're in round 9.
Yeah. So that must have, I can imagine this must have been something to prepare for, to endure for
well, yeah, I mean,
15 rounds.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this was really back in the days of the 18 rounds. I mean, of course, in the 80s, actually right around the mid '80s, we got rid of the 15 rounds because of all the damage and plus a couple of fighters died. So people thought that all those years of wear and tear and going 15 rounds and it accumulated in punishment to the brain and stuff, so they had to do away with it.
Gotcha.
But in those days, in 15 rounds, I mean, those guys, they were gladiators.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, though I do think that there are some boxers today, they could have, I think if the 15 rounds were still around today, they would, I think they could hang. I mean, especially Floyd Mayweather. I mean, Floyd Mayweather Jr. I mean, he's he's a cardio freak.
Right.
Yeah, he's a cardio, nut. He would definitely have lasted 15 rounds.
So, I mean, do you think he wants to, like, secretly, when you?
Well, I'm sure he would. I mean, because because his father and his grandfather were from those days, and
so they did 15 rounds.
Yeah, they fought in 15 rounds and stuff like that. They're from that era.
Right.
Manny Pacquiao, I think, would have been able to handle that, and Keith Thurman, Gennady Golovkin, and some of the boxers today. I think they would have done well if the 15 rounds were still around today.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting question. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they would have beaten the fighters in the previous era. But I think they would have lasted 15 rounds. Oh, good right hook inside.
Yeah. So it's scheduled for 12 rounds nowadays?
Yep, it's scheduled for 12 rounds nowadays, and but it's still grueling though. 12 rounds. It can still be a grueling 12 rounds. And, matter of fact, I think, in my opinion, all time the best fight to ever go 15 rounds was Larry Holmes and Ken Norton in 1979.
Okay.
Yeah.
What stands out about that for you?
Well, that fight because it was two heavyweights and they were just going back and forth and back and forth. It was a real tough fight.
Yeah.
So
sort of like up and down. Like that's like that's definitely something to follow if you're really invested in one fighter or the other.
Yeah. In
Yeah.
fact, I think the last, pretty sure. I mean, of course, I'll have to look it up on Wikipedia, but I'm pretty sure about this. The last fight to ever go 15 rounds was Dwight Muhammad Quai versus Vander Holyfield, 1986, for the junior heavyweight title, and so that's a good fight too. You can look that up on YouTube.
Yeah.
For all you guys watching this on YouTube, look it up on YouTube.
There you go.
Yeah, it really was. It really was the last great 15-round fight in boxing.
What I don't understand, so with 12 rounds, 3 minutes each, 30 seconds between. Do you pretty much have to accept that even the longest boxing match is what 45 minutes to an hour?
Yeah, but the thing is, it's in that amount of time, when you're in that ring, time slows down.
Well, yeah, I'm sure for the fighter it does. Yeah. I understand that for the fighter that could be infinite. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about for the fans, for you guys, for watching.
Well, yeah, some I mean, it depends if a fight is good. You know, if it's a good fight and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes fights end short. You know, sometimes they end the first round or the fifth round.
And we've talked about that as well. We've talked about fans' response to that and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and the other thing is, you know, going back a little bit to from the era that we're watching now, you know, the era now in boxing to the era back then is that you know, fighters weren't. I mean, yeah, fighters won on points, but there was more emphasis on trying to finish, you know, and going for the knockout and stuff, and that's you know, that's what made the era, you know, especially a little bit in my era coming, or I should say our era coming up in the 90s and early 2000s. You know, fighters were trying to we're trying to finish each other. Yeah, I mean, granted, not every fight is gonna end in a knockout or anything like that. You know.
Well, so you're saying that it was more
action packed.
Okay. I was gonna say, so you're saying that fighters, like from the 80s and 90s, were more interested in the knockout punch, whereas here it was about enduring the length of the fight.
Well, yeah, I mean, even when a fight didn't end in a knockout, you still got an entertaining fight.
Right.
You know, like this fight right here. Of course, this fight doesn't end in a knockout, but it's still an exciting fight. It almost looks like these guys are gonna fall down at any moment.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure that's what made it really exciting because it's like, and also they're both fighting for the title. I mean, that's, you know, for them it's not over till it's over. There's a phrase from baseball that applies here. It's not over till it's over.
Yeah, and it's also a phrase that scored Lenny Kravitz's first hit.
There you go.
By the way, good song to make love to.
Oh. Good point.
Oh. I mean, even though Frazier slowed down a bit, you know, he still has a bit of power.
Right. Right.
Oh. And you can see the puffiness around Frazier's eye.
Yeah, he's taking some beatings in the face.
Oh, yeah. You know, the lip and, you know, the eyes and, you know. By the way, the guy you saw with the glasses, that's Angelo Dundee.
Yeah,
Ali's trainer.
Oh, trainer, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said the other guy in the glasses was the fight doctor.
Yeah, he was the fight doctor. Angelo Dundee was a trainer. Oh, good flurries there by Ali. You know, of course, Dundee. He also trained Carmen Basilio back in the day as well, back in the 50s.
Uh-huh.
And Angelo, of course, would later go on to train Sugar Ray Leonard, trained Trevor Berbick one time, and even in the 90s when George Foreman made his comeback, you know, he actually trained George Foreman for a while. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
He had to take a few punches from both sides in order to get that hit in.
Well, yeah, you know, it's, you know, because some fighters, that's actually a style more of the Mexican and Puerto Rican fighters get too. You know, the whole take two shots just to land one.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's an exciting style, but you know, in the long run, it catches up with you.
Oh, I bet it does. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, and also, Joe Frazier, of course, is a Philadelphia fighter, and Philly fighters, they like to. They had a reputation for brawling, brawling inside, and
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta admit the Philly fighters they probably stuck it out pretty tough. I mean, like
Yeah.
Come from the spirit of independence with the Liberty Bell and the crack. You gotta crack Liberty Bell. And, the spirit of the founders. It's definitely something.
Yeah, and also Philadelphia fighters. They also were known for having gym wars, meaning when they sparred, sometimes in sparring, it's like, hey, take it easy, only go half speed, and stuff like that.
Okay.
Well,
By the way, no, I don't know what it's like in sparring because I haven't done that. But
okay, sorry.
Yeah. But so you're saying that sometimes you should take it down to half speed.
Yeah, well, Philadelphia fighters, they leave everything in the gym, I mean, because it was it's a matter of testing your character and testing your toughness, but this would eventually catches up with you. But
so what do you mean they leave everything in the gym? In terms of like whatever happened between you and the person that you're training with?
Yeah, it's like just going at it, like it's a real fight and stuff.
Okay.
And
so whatever harshness or bitterness comes from that, it's just you let it go when you leave because it's more important that you're really prepared for the fight that person's preparing you for.
Yeah. Yeah, and plus they, like I said, those gym wars, they wouldn't just be sparring sessions; it'd be a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but
so that must be something if you're a trainer or whatever to you'd have to really get into your friend's opponent's shoes, and you'd have to actually be your friend's opponent during that time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And but of course nowadays gym wars, people advise against those gym wars because also that's bad for a fighter who has a good chin because eventually mouthpiece goes flying.
Yeah.
Just as I was talking about chins.
Yeah, exactly. Who would have thought?
Yeah. And but your chin starts to go. That's
right. So yeah, maybe that's in that case. Maybe there is a place for like save it for the ring. That type of thing. Like your chin should be as strong as it could be, as it can be.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, of course, if you have a great chin, years in boxing or fighting, of course your chin is going to start to wear down. But
right, but you'd hope that you'd have it in the best shape for when you're actually in the ring.
Yeah, but it can go away more quicker if when you keep doing those gym wars.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. That's why I think that
Frazier almost went down there.
Yep.
Yeah. And, like, for example, when,
so I understand both of where those things are coming from. Like, I understand both the save it for the ring, but also, it would be nice to, for the person who's training you, pretending to be your opponent, to actually be aggressive enough that you're prepared.
Yeah, exactly. Because, like, for example, like, Chuck Liddell, back in the days of the UFC, there were punches he would eat like a cookie. You'd have to, in order to knock him out, you'd have to take a baseball bat to him. But then after the second fight with Rampage, when he got knocked out, and then the wars with Jardine and Vanderlei Silva, the chin started to go away. And he used to have a great chin.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, when he got knocked out by Rich Franklin, that was a punch back in the day. He would have taken that punch.
What round are we on now?
14th. Don't worry. This is the last round. Well, don't tell me you're getting bored now.
No, it's not about being bored. Actually, so 14, that means there's 2 more. You're the star, you can manage, and I go to the bathroom.
What? Okay.
Yep. Get over it.
Alright. Well, I guess when nature calls. We see right here in this round right here. I mean, this is a great ending, to this rivalry. This is really one of the best, if not the best, boxing matches in the world. Frazier and Ali. I mean, really the greatest rivalry in heavyweight history. I mean, yeah, I know, that's what I'm doing. That's my co-host, people. So, but yeah, I mean, the greatest rivalry in heavyweight history. I mean, of course, a close second comes Riddick Bowe and Vander Holyfield. Oh, good right hand. Oh, another good right hand right there. Ali really teeing off on Frazier right here. I mean, just really sucking it up right here. Putting a pounding, beating on Joe Frazier right here. Coming in here. Oh, nice flurry right here. Nice flurry. Bam! Yep. Well,
anyway, the old saying, the show must go on.
Yeah. Plus, you hung in as long as you did. So,
yeah.
Alright. You get one free pass.
Oh, one pass. Alright.
Yeah.
Whatever, pal. But yeah, anyway, so it's nearing the end of the 14th now.
Yeah, nearing the end of the 14th, and you can really see the damage. These fighters have taken in 14 rounds. This ungodly, heat, 120 degrees.
Oh man, yeah. Still, it's hard to imagine. It's hard to take in.
Yeah, I mean, we complain about the weather when we're walking to the grocery store, but these guys, these 2 warriors are in this kind of weather, and they're beating the shit out of each other. Now, the story here, see the blood right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really is messed up right here. A Fudge telling him he's going to stop the fight, and there he's calling the fight off. Saying, yep, stop the fight. Yeah. And that was in fact, Freddie Pacheco, the fight doctor we see right there, he said that when he was in the corner, they said, they were praying Joe didn't come up for the next round, because they said, if he came up for that next round, they said, we're going to have to kill this guy.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
wow.
Joe Frazier has one bad eye, and now the other eye is messed up, and, he's bleeding from the mouth, and...
It's funny, that is something I thought it would actually last the whole time. The whole 15 rounds.
Yeah. Also, by the way, we don't own this footage. This is from on demand on on my cable TV.
That's a good disclaimer.
Yeah, so please don't take this video off. Please don't sue us. And you can see Ali is just exhausted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there we see an early Don King right there.
Oh.
Yeah, young Don King. And this is just an amazing fight. It still holds up to this day.
Yeah.
I mean, it represents everything good and bad about boxing. You know, the determination, the
Mm-hmm.
you know connecting punches and stuff like that. But
Hmm. I mean, this is crazy. This is actually something I have not seen yet. So like I've admitted, I have not seen that many fights. But yeah, I've not seen the fight yet where they had to uh, make sure the fighter was all good before announcing champion.
yeah, this is one of these fights where you definitely want a beer in your hand when you're watching this. Of course, for a while I can't drink because I'm on some new meds,
Yeah.
but still a good fight. Yeah, amazing fight. Still holds up to this day as a classic, especially with these two men who are now in heaven.
Yeah.
You know, they've passed away,
Yeah.
and a great ending to a great rivalry. The greatest heavyweight rivalry of all time, and definitely should be looked up on YouTube. When, of course, not just with our channel, but with other channels.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anything else you want to say?
Nope. There's definitely something. I've always heard of some of the truly classic fights of Ali, and I'm really glad to finally watch this one in depth. Like really see how it was that he got his legend status, and see what it was really all about.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And we're going to end it here. You can look us up on youtube.com/BloodYKnucklesTV. And this is a show we're doing once a month. It's not going to be weekly like the Beantown Beatdown.
Yeah.
But when it does air, you can definitely be in store for some good fights. We're only showing the best. And this is Matt and Gabe.
Matt and Gabe, let's turn around.
Yep.
From Ringside with Matt and Gabe.
And we'll see you at Ringside.
Vias Candia.